Today I'm going to talk to you guys about shirts. Specifically, I'm going to review Nathaniel Logsdon of Logsdon and Co's shirt. Now, Nathaniel's a good friend of mine, and he sent this to me, asked me if I'd review it. Now, knowing Nathaniel, he wants me to be completely honest with you, and I'm going to be as honest with you as possible, but I also want to divulge he is a good friend of mine, and there might be some bias in this. First off, I did an article in my monthly newsletter back in, I think, September. It might have been August, about flannel shirts, because Nathaniel sent this to me, and it was in August that he sent it to me, which is way too hot to really use it, right? And it gave me some opportunities to really research and try to figure out, well, what were period shirts in the early 20th century. Now, if you're talking about the early 1900s, long shirts that tended to be halfway buttoned up, those were the norm. But right around like the late 1910s and into the 1920s, you actually got to see both. Now, the shirt that I'm wearing is considered the coat style because it's a button all the way down. So if you have not seen that particular newsletter, then I suggest you go on my website, www.honorableoutfitters.com, check out the post and go through, and you can see some of the previous newsletters, and you can always sign up for my monthly newsletter, where I try to give you guys some historical knowledge and some tips and tricks and things like that. It doesn't cost you anything, and I don't even spam your email because it only comes once a month. Now, if there is something special coming up, then I'll send you an email. All right, so let's talk about shirts, shall we? Now, this is considered Nathaniel Logsdon's hunting shirt. Now, whenever you are buying a shirt, and if you're a man, you're probably familiar with this process, but I'm going to tell you what my process is when I buy a shirt, especially an outdoor shirt. First off, when I put it on, I check to see how it feels in my armpits. I'm a big dude. I'm 6'1", I'm 230 pounds. I'm a little bit broad in the shoulders. Now, I am not super muscular in my my arms right here, but I also need to make sure that it fits comfortably there. So this is a 2X shirt. I normally wear an extra large. So if you buy a shirt from Nathaniel, I suggest that you get one size larger than what you normally do. Now, when you get a shirt, you do your arm stretches, right? It kind of looks like you're doing calisthenics, but I always check to see this. Your shirt should not move up when you just lift up your arms like so, or in front of you. When you put it above your head, there needs to be a little bit of movement, but there shouldn't be a whole lot of movement. It shouldn't come all the way down past this point for a good outdoor shirt. Okay. Next, check your arms. Now again, when you do this, your arms is going to come back just a little bit. Think about roughly about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. It shouldn't go back any farther than 2 inches. If you do, then the shirt is way too small. So that helps you eliminate that particular shirt. Maybe you need to get a shirt that's a little bit bigger. Maybe you need to get a tall size or something like that. So this shirt fits me pretty well. Since it's a hunting shirt, you should also do poses on how you're going to hunt. So if you're an archer, bring it back like so and go through all the different motions. Whatever it is, whether it's getting your quiver from your back or from your side, whether it's pulling back the bowstring, see if there's any movement in that regard. Since I don't really do bow shooting, I do mostly rifle shooting, bring it up like so and see how it fits again in your biceps and see if there's any movement whatsoever over here in your arms. All right, now once you've got that checked out and everything looks good, now start focusing on all the stress points. As you move around, do you feel the back or the yoke of your shirt tightening up around your back? If that's the case, then it might again be a little small. As you're moving up and doing different places of movements, check for all those different feelings. Because this shirt is about $90, and that's a lot of money when you're buying a shirt or any other outdoor equipment, right? So you want to make sure that when you spend your money, that it's going to fit you well and it's going to take care of you in the actual setting. Now, when I move my arms forward in front of me, because of the arms and how tight they are on Nathaniel's shirts, I do notice that it starts to pull right here. So that's not necessarily a good thing, but just because that's happening to me doesn't mean it's going to happen to you because of your body shape and size. So it does pull a little bit right here, and it feels a little tight in the elbows. Now that's not exactly normal when you're talking about an outdoor shirt. His shirts also are somewhat tight here in the armpits, but not uncomfortably so. I definitely couldn't fit another long sleeve shirt underneath of this, even though in the style, I would consider this an overshirt. But you could wear this as just a regular shirt as is, okay? So it's tight here in my armpits, but I also have wider shoulders. It's a little tight in the biceps, but not so much so that it's uncomfortable, okay? So that's perfectly fine. I'm not really too bothered by that. So the fit and finish, if you will, of the shirt, I think is pretty good. Overall, I think that I would keep this shirt. I would buy this and I'd be fairly comfortable with it. I'd be okay with the different problems. Now, if I do this and it was even more tighter than what it is, I'd send it back and get a refund or maybe get a different size, okay? So that doesn't bother me. Now, we're talking about the quality of the shirt. The quality is really nice because it's 100% wool. And whenever you buy 100% wool of anything, you're going to be spending a lot of money. So having a $90 100% wool shirt that is historically accurate for the 20th century, early 20th century, I think that's pretty nice. What's also nice is that the points where you don't normally have in today's shirts, like your dress shirts or whatever, there's definitely a stiffener inside here. I think that's a nice touch because there's nothing worse, especially when you're in outdoors, how this kind of bunches up around right where your thumb is or where it gets a little bit wrinkly, something like that. So that stiffener, I think, is a nice feature for an outdoor shirt. Of course, there's a stiffener around the collar, and it's actually covered. There's a little bit of fabric that's in between your wool shirt and your chest in this area. Now, the wool itself is on the itchier side of wool, flannel. It's not the softer side. Now, there's different qualities of wool, there's different types of wool, there's different naps of wool, and all these other different things. This is definitely more on the, traditional itchy type wool, okay? Now, if you wear like long johns or like your underwear, because having undershirts was the common practice of the early 20th century, then that shouldn't bother you at all. I wear a light, very, very thin undershirt, and the wool doesn't itch me at all. It doesn't feel like it in my back or my chest or anything like that. I certainly don't feel it in my arms. So if you wear an undershirt, it's fine. If you don't wear an undershirt, or at least a t-shirt, then I think you're definitely going to feel some skin irritation from the wool. Now, the large pockets are really nice for a hunting shirt because you can fit all your doodads in here. You can fit a couple extra shells. You can put your compass. You can put your tobacco, your pipe. You can put your whistle. You can put a pocket knife. You can put a basic cleaning kit in your pockets right here. So they're nice and large, really great for outdoor wear. All right. Now, I do consider this an overshirt in the style because the buttons are about 6 inches apart versus the traditional 4 inches, 3 to 4. So that makes it a little awkward when you think about a shirt and tucking it in. If you do tuck this in and you put your braces or put your suspenders over it, it's not going to look odd. It doesn't feel odd, but just the style of it, I don't think per se really matches that type of shirt. I can tell you from personal experience at Squirrel Camp and a couple other camps that I've been at since August, especially the cooler weather. At Squirrel Camp, it got down to 32 degrees at night, and it got down to 40 on the night before. I went on a conference, and I got to camp out, and even that night, we got down in the low 40s. Having this shirt, I was completely comfortable, even down in 32 degrees. Now, like I said, I had an undershirt on top underneath this. So having this and an undershirt at 32 degrees, moving about camp, didn't bother me at all. I was perfectly comfortable with this shirt. So, that being said, I suggest if you are looking for a cool weather shirt that is modestly priced, when you're talking about a full wool shirt and it's a reproduction and you're supporting an American company, small business, then getting one Nathaniel shirts is a good plus. The only thing I can say bad about it is the fit of the shirt, but that is entirely based off of my physical build. Nathaniel's very great to work with. If you buy a shirt from him and you tell him like, hey, it's not fitting this way or that way, his customer service is impeccable. He wants to make sure that you get a quality item and that you're satisfied with what you purchase. So make sure that you put it on at home. When you're going about doing some of your chores, just don't, sit around the campfire. Don't get it all smoky. Definitely don't sleep in it, but if you're trying to put it on and see how well it works for you, then Nathaniel's great to work with. You can return it to him and pick something else or get a refund depending on what his policy is and the length of time that that's all good. So he's really, really great to work with. Now, if you like historical wear for early 20th century camping, then check out Logsdon and Co. If you're interested in checking out my video about historical clothing and gear, then check out the playlist here. If you want to check out that Preston mess kit, which is incredible, it's my favorite mess kit of all times. I really hope that we can get this into production. Then check out the video here, and don't forget to check out the link below with everything. But sign up if you think you'd be interested in buying one. That way we can get that 500 and we can get things rolling. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Give a kiss and hug to your loved ones, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.